Good evening, my fellow citizens. This government, as promised,
I have ordered attacks on enemy military
targets. There could be no greater good than the quest for peace, and no finer purpose than the preservation of freedom.
You've got 4,500 people, essentially 4,000 19-year-olds. And what you find out is if you work their cute little fannies off, they're doing good. But don't give them a chance to screw off because they'll get in trouble.
We had weekly maintenance, we had monthly maintenance, we had yearly maintenance.
We had day shift, night shift, we were 24/7. It's just the way it is at sea. You didn't think about the time after a while, you just produced, you performed.
If their mamas could see them, they wouldn't believe the wonderful things that those kids can do.
It didn't matter where we were from. I was from a city, they were from the plains of Wyoming, they were from the West Coast, they were from Hawaii. It didn't matter. It's the fact that we all worked together as sailors on board a very historic ship.
We were interested in making sure that the food was good and a positive morale issue, so we did fresh eggs for everybody, and that meant we were running through about 1,000 dozen fresh eggs every day, about 600 gallons of milk, and thousands of cups of coffee.
Did some of them come back for seconds? You bet your bippy. You know, a 19-year-old can eat a full meal, go up to the flight deck, one foot back, come back, and probably eat another one.
If we were going to try to relax, we would have what was called the Steel Beach picnic. We would turn the deck of the carrier into a barbecue. Then in addition to having the hot dogs and the steaks and the hamburgers and all that, every sailor was entitled to 2 beers. And so in the space of about 3.5 hours, we went through 7,560 cans of beer. We would have athletic events, 10K race, fishing contest, skeet shooting, range golf balls to hit off the angle, all those kinds of things to try to relax, because there's not a whole lot of time to relax, nor is there a whole lot of space to relax on the ship. You know, basically it's eat, sleep, work, repeat, right? And that goes on days at a time. There's no, okay, we're going to take the weekend. There's no Saturday, Sunday in that respect.
So social time was built around meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That was the highlight of the day to look forward to. And then in the evenings, if you wanted, they did show a movie on the mess decks or in the wardroom, or you could do professional reading or you could do recreational reading. And we had a ship's TV entertainment system, which repeat movies weren't that great.
This can be a pretty tough environment from a physical standpoint, and so folks would get injured, and so they'd have to go down and get taken care of at sick bay. And same kind of issue with dental.
I was the first oral surgeon to be assigned to Midway probably ever. I think I had one trauma case with a broken jaw, which was very uncomplicated and easy to treat. Lots of wisdom teeth. Then the other thing I did was a lot of general dentistry.
We had stores where the sailors could shop for everything from chewing gum to candy to tobacco products to fancy wristwatches. You could actually buy a car and a motorcycle through a thing called special order and have it delivered to where the ship's home port was. The mail itself, the first class mail, was a huge. There was no internet that was usable by the sailors in 89, 90, and 91, right? They were used to getting their pay and putting it in cash in an envelope and then going to the post office and buying a money order. We had a small jail called the Brig, and so maybe someone got in a fight, maybe they had too much partying the previous night and either didn't get up or got up late. Theft is another one. I mean, there are a lot of petty offenses, so those are some of the common things. Usually the Brig straightened folks out, and most of the guys just needed a little bit of tough love. We wanted to have chapel services, so we have a very small chapel that holds about 35 folks, and so most of those services with the crew of 4,500 were held either on the forecastle, where the anchor's chain is, or in the hangar deck, or if it was a really nice day, out on the flight deck.
You're in charge of a multi-million-dollar aircraft. and at the end of the day, you got a human being in it. We were kind of, I mean, not to toot our own horns, we were kind of the rock stars of the flight deck. People thought we were crazy. Yeah, pretty much. You know, it was a lot of responsibility, but it was a fun job.
I mean, you got 19-year-old kids directing airplanes up here. If they don't do it right, somebody goes over the side.
You had to be ready to perform, regardless of how you felt, if you were sick, if you had the flu, if you didn't have a good night's sleep, if you didn't sleep, you had to be ready to perform when you were asked to perform, because if you're not sharp, things could take you by surprise very quickly.
I'm the only guy on the carrier who does not have a job. I'm not the catapult officer, I'm not the engineer, or I'm not the navigator. I'm responsible for everything and in control of nothing. The American sailor is your most valuable asset. These pieces of metal, they're important, but the 5,000 guys that are running this thing, each and every one of them has a life or death responsibility at some juncture during the day.